say, well, I have a good intention for this purpose and that purpose. No, it's finished. Now, what is presently an issue amongst Muslims, the Muslim world, is whether photography is included now in image making. This is what the issue is. Is our photograph only a technological advancement in the making of images, or are they in another category? Some scholars hold that it's just an extension. You see, in past times you did it with your hand, you do it like this, now you press a button and you produce the same thing. Just a technological advancement in the process of making images. Just like, for example, you can design a computer program where you punch in and make an image on the computer, and then that image is transformed, connect to a machine, in cards or in mold, and you will make an object just like what you made, on the computer. Even though what you're putting in on the computer originally are just zeros and ones, in the end it comes out with an image. So they grant it according to the end product is an image of a human being or an animal or whatever, and this is only the technological advancement. Other scholars, actually the majority, hold that this is in another category. It is more similar to mirrors, an image in a mirror. And even those who prohibit, for example, photographs, in general, they tend to permit television. They will permit the images which are portrayed on the television. So the fact of the matter is that these images, if they go on film, it's really still images that are run at a particular rate, which gives the illusion of movement. So in the end, it's all one. The issue is, what is happening in the process of making a photograph? That light is captured on paper, right? Treated with certain chemicals, etc. And the image which is there, the actual image, the image which is actually there is passed through a lens, caught on the paper, and that is produced. What is on the paper is what was out there, basically, and a copy of it. But the human hand is not directly involved in this process. Where a photograph is retouched, they use an airbrush. For example, take a picture, or a passport picture, and they use an airbrush, and they remove your pimples and dimples and things, and now you're looking very smooth and, whatever. Then this becomes a painting. It becomes equivalent now to that painting, the drawing is similar. It's no longer in that other category. Now, the question arises, why in modern times people, even those who are actually making images, carving, drawing, Picasso, Rembrandt and things like this, why should we consider these things to be haram? Well, the fact of the matter is that people idolize it. The way that people look at it, Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa, the way, they don't pray to it. They have, worship can take many different forms. The point is that if you tell one of these art lovers, right, the average art lover, you tell them, listen, the Louvre, the museum in France is going to burn down, right? You're in there, and there's this Mona Lisa, and there's a little baby, everybody's run out. You can only take one. Right? Which are you going to take? Just tell you in a minute, I'll take the Mona Lisa. Why? Well, because baby, you can always get another baby. You can't get another Mona Lisa. And if it becomes that way with anything, then that love, that kind of love for that thing becomes forbidden love. And painting and drawing, these arts, they invite people to that. And if you listen to how the artists speak, what their goals are, they'll tell you, I want to create something larger than life. They'll put it like this. Larger than life. What do you mean larger than life? Something greater than what actually exists. There is that desire on their part to, create, issue of creation. and it captures people, and it turns into adoration. So the point is that photograph is, for the majority of scholars who hold that photographs are permissible. They're fine as long as they're kept in a particular status, not of being elevated to adoration. Where they come up as posters now of your favorite pop star, which is plastered on your wall, you idolize, then it becomes not forbidden. If you take photographs of your parents, you blow them up, put them up on your wall, and they become big images for adoration, then it's also forbidden. Adoration to be adored, people, oh, look at that, this kind of attitude was, huh? Yeah. What a nice picture, what a nice picture. People come to your home, you want them, you bring them over to look at it, I'm telling you, according to Islamic law, to set it up on the wall, to put it up to be seen, etc. According to Islamic law, this is prohibited. Because the adoration of these images leads ultimately to forms of worship. They become worship. If you look at the image of Khomeini, look at the image of Khomeini in Iran, where Khomeini's image is everywhere, it becomes an object of worship to the people. But you see, one is taken to the final end. The point is that, in an Islamic perspective, things which will lead to it, we stop them. Well, you don't have to put it on the wall to see it. I mean, if you keep it in an album, okay, hold on a minute, please, people. How does this prevent the angels from coming into the home? Prophet Muhammad made up said that the angels will not enter homes in which there are images, tongues, and dogs. There are images, tongues, and dogs. Well, I'm telling you what Prophet Muhammad said. Huh? I didn't know this. Did you say it? It has nothing to do with prayer, not non-prayer. It's just with the Prophet. No, it didn't say that. It just said that angels, and this is, to clarify, this is the angels of mercy, okay? These are the angels of mercy that may accompany you. And these angels will not enter the home where their images hung and dogs are kept, okay? But angels that record your deeds, recording the deeds of your prayers, so they're with you. They're there. Okay, what's another issue you want to talk about, Captain Dawson? Okay, I will finish my images first, before we go into another topic. Hold on a minute, please. I will finish my images. Okay. Ask the question in images. Go ahead. No, because these are not carvings of human beings or animals. No, but what has been specifically prohibited is living creatures, animals, and human beings. It's okay. Picture of the mountain, scenery, buildings, drawings of buildings. Permissible. Yeah. If it's in an album, it's out of the way. It's not given. It's not set up. If it's set up with a thing behind it, propping it up, It's a form of hanging. It's a form of setting it up for visual. It's not an issue. It's not an issue. People. Come on. We're going to discuss it. Let's go ahead. Be quiet, man. Yes.